Welcome back everybody to another pomade review, and as per request, I'll be doing another oil-based pomade review and summer-friendly one. The pomade I'll be taking a look at today is Reuzel Pink. Now you guys should know this, but just in case you guys don't know, Reuzel is the line of pomades by Scorum, which is the world's most famous barbershop, and it's located in Rotterdam, the Netherlands. Reuzel has two oil-based pomades in a line, one of them being the pink, that's the heavy hold, and the other is the medium hold, the green one, which in my opinion is one of the best medium hold pomades I've ever used, and my favorite out of the whole Reuzel line, but I'll save that for a future video. And for now, let's talk about the pink. The general design of the Reuzel pomade tints is that they have a rustic look to them to give that old school feel, and there's a Victorian pattern on the side of the lid. It's a screw top metal can, and the graphic of the pig over here, it is a reference to how the first pomades, even before petroleum-based pomades were invented, they were made using animal fat, including lard. And so the pig became really synonymous with the whole Reuzel line and the Scorum barbershop. And now let's talk about the pomade. Well, okay, on the flip side, you can see the ingredients right here. As always, the scent on this one is amazing. It's sort of a bubblegum scent, but as I scoop it out, it'll become stronger than it is in the can. I need to damp my hair a little bit. So you guys can tell I just woke up. The appearance of the pomade itself, as you would expect, is waxy and off-white, just as any typical heavy. Scooping it out, it's actually a little more difficult when you break through the waxy top layer, but it's a little easier as you get through the top layer. This is what scooping the top layer is like. However, for a heavy, it actually scoops out easier than a typical heavy, just a little softer, but not super waxy. Breaking it down, it also does take a little bit of effort, but it's not as super waxy to break down as you would expect. But you should really emulsify it. Otherwise, you experience quite some tug and pull into your hair, and I recommend taking small scoops at a time, as with any heavy, because this is going to have some tug if you don't apply it right. There's a lot of resistance to it, so you can tell it's not as bad as say Murray's, but it is heavy, and you are bound to actually receive some tug and quite a lot of resistance. But if you actually do use the right amount per scoop, it won't be so bad at all. There's definitely going to be there is a lot of resistance. So I'm just gonna get another scoop, and now I'm gonna do it from the when I break through the top layer, and it's substantially easier, as you guys can see. I'll rub that one in. Just make sure to really work it through and blend it in. And you gotta actually really work it in with your comb. Otherwise, you might find some lumps if you don't really break them down properly. But you shouldn't really have a problem with that, because this is one of those heavies with not so much of a very waxy feel, despite having quite a lot of wax content to them. I took my final really small scoop. And that should be it. Just looking it back, Like I said, there is quite some resistance to it, but after coming in for a while, it should feel a little smoother and easier to comb. It's not painful whatsoever, and you won't really lose hairs, but if you do use quite a lot, you're going to experience some tug. But if you don't really use too much, I just use 2.5 scoops, that's just fine enough for me. It's it's pretty grippy, but just without tug. And it slicks back actually really nicely because there's plenty of slickness over here. You can tell that it's super tight, and it's also really easy to form apart. The cone lines here are super apparent, and that's what I do love in any pomade. Now slicking it back, I'm slicking my sides back because of the amazing amount of slickness you get from this pomade. You'd expect it to be actually really tight. And my hair is really not the easiest to manage when I wake up in the morning. You can see how poofy it was. And Reuzel Pink has absolutely amazing control, so it's able to slick my hair into directions where I want it to go. And heavies generally don't work very well for my hair because they normally spike them up, but Reuzel Pink manages to slick everything together. Not a lot of heavies. I'm not a huge fan of heavies, but Reuzel Pink is one of the few exceptions to my list. The best thing about the Reuzel Pink is that it's really easy to actually get the shade that you want to, because the control in this one is insane. So when I do a pompadour, I'm always going to get a rounded and forward shape every single time without fail. And as you can tell, there's amazing height provided to me by this pomade. Now the washability itself, it takes about 3 washes, at least 3 washes for me. And the buildup, of course, you're going to have one hell of a waxy foundation. It's actually definitely not the cleanest. It feels pretty sticky to me, but it's not too greasy, but maybe it'll serve like a waxy sort of buildup, but definitely not the cleanest you'd expect. But still, a really damn good foundation for the next day. I can even get much crazier height, but by the 3rd day I'd get so much weight that the height would actually decrease, and I couldn't stand any more than 3 days of buildup with any heavy pomade. And the shine in this one, it's actually more than your typical heavy. Heavies are known to have low shine, or shine that is a few notches, a notch or 2 above a neutral shine. But with this one, I'd say the shine is pretty close to a medium. It's not a true medium shine, but it's a level between low and medium, leaning more towards a medium shine. Now to just build my pompadour a little more, bring it forward again, and just slick the sides. And that should be done here. Now I'm done styling my pompadour after a couple of minor tweaks, and I'll show you how it looks like under decent lighting. So you can tell, amazing height, slightly, its shine is slightly above average for a medium, and everything just looks really nicely slicked into place, such as the sides over here, they go all the way back, and the shape of my pompadour is very round with lots of height. My final thoughts on Reuzel Pink. This is absolutely a must try if you love oil-based pomades even though you're not much of a heavy user, because by far this is actually the best true heavy that's worked for me. Well, the best thing you can describe to heavy that works my hair is Lockhart's Goon Grease, but to me that's more of a firm heavy. But this is an absolute true heavy with more hold than Lockhart's Goon Grease, but just slightly less slickness, but still amazing amount of slickness. And the best thing about this is the amount of control you get. That's my most favorite thing about this pomade. And of course, its hold is of course insane, and I'm able to get through the whole day without not really restyling my pompadour much. And by the end of the day, my pomp would still mainly look the same with just some very, very minor stray hairs. But otherwise, I generally don't really need a recomb even for a pompadour like this while using Reuzel Pink. But in the summer, I might experience a little bit of deflation in height of my pompadour. But a quick recomb doesn't really prove any further problems. So one of the best meat heavies I've ever used, and perhaps the best factory made heavy I've used as well. It doesn't really style like much. Most heavies, really great control, slightly there's some really nice slickness there, and its shine is slightly better than most heavies I've seen. So if you love oil-based pomades, if you love heavies or not, I recommend that you grab a can of this because it's absolutely phenomenal. Even though I'm pretty late to the party to try this one, I'm a little hesitant because, like I said, I don't really use a lot of heavies and they generally don't work for me, but this one is one of the few exceptions. So with that being said, if you enjoyed this review, please leave a like, comment, subscribe to this channel, click on the bell icon so you never miss a single upload of The Squinty Show, and I'll see you next time on The Squinty Show.